Good morning and happy holidays. I'm Dr. Susan and this is Play and Learn. Today we're going to take a look at a book. It's called The Bernstein's Bears, The Joy of Giving. And it's a book about the first Christmas and the first Christmas gifts, which I thought would be kind of fun to review and to take a look at how those ideas came into being and how we can use our creative energy to create special gifts to give that we don't have to go to the store and buy something and bring it home and wrap it, but something that's part of us. So we're going to do a little bit of that and celebrate the holidays in starting us off that way. It's only a week away, which seems like amazing, yet it's almost upon us. So this is one of those last minute things that you can do that would be nice to give. All right? So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to slide off camera for a second to do the book. And this is what the book cover looks like. And it's Bernstein's Bears. All right? So we're going to get started on that. All right. So here is the beginning of the story. This is The Bernstein's Bear and the Joy of Giving. The book is written by Jan and Michael Bernstein. The Bernstein Bears. All right. It was the week before Christmas. Perfect timing. And all over Bear Country, everyone was busy getting ready for the big day. There were Christmas shopping and Christmas decorating and Christmas everything. You can see by all the pictures, all the activities that are going on. Down at the chapel in the woods, the cubs of Bear Country were busy getting ready for their Christmas Eve play. Oops. It was the story of the first Christmas, and brother and sister had an important role. They were to be the camel of the three wise bears. Sister was the front end of the camel, and brother brought up the rear. They thought it was the best costume ever. That would be fun. Miss Ursula, their Sunday school teacher, was directing, all right, wise bears, she called, enter right, stage right. The three wise bears came on stage. They carried gifts and wore long robes and crowns and fake beards. They followed the Christmas star made above the stage. The first wise bear was played by Sammy Burno, who had a front loose tooth that made him a little hard to understand. A tar, tar, he cried. IT, a tar. Miss Ursula sighed. Okay, camel, she called, you're on. Sister and brother bear followed the wise bears, but it was hard to see out of the costume, and sister accidentally knocked over a palm tree. The three wise bears tripped, going down in a triangle. I guess that's why we have rehearsal, right? To work out all these little things. Oh dear, Miss Ursula said. We will ever be ready. Sorry, Miss Ursula, said sister, poking her head out. It's hard to see in there. I'll need to make the peepholes bigger, said Miss Ursula. That's enough for today, cubs. It's time to go home. The cubs took off their costumes and went into the chilly evening air. Brr, shivered sister. It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas. Yeah, agreed brother. And looking that way, too. The whole neighborhood was decorated for Christmas. Sister and brother walked home in the soft glow of the many colored lights. The next day, the bear family went shopping. It was time for brother and sister to pick a few special gifts. This year, they had 2 crisp $10 bills from Grizzly Gramps and Graham to spend on others. Of course, brother and sister hoped that they could have some money left for themselves. Sister was saving for a brand new bear Barbie doll, and brother wanted a special rubber band powered model airplane, as you can see in the picture, what they have in their minds. Papa and Honey helped Brother to do shopping while Mama went with Sister. Brother picked up a Bear Barbie doll outfitted that he found on sale for his sister. And Sister found a small airplane model for Brother. Each cost just a few dollars. Mama and Papa Bear thought that maybe each cub should have spent more money on one another. What about the joy of giving? Whispered Mama to Papa. It seems Brother and Sister only care about the joy of getting. True, agreed Papa, but let's not interfere. They'll learn about the joy of giving for themselves. First, the angel Gabriel came to Mary, telling her that she would give birth to Jesus. Then Mary and Joseph journeyed to Bethlehem, where the innkeeper gave them shelter in a stable. There, Mary gave birth to a tiny baby who laid in a manger. These are all the kids acting. An angel of the Lord appeared to the shepherds, sharing the good news of Jesus' birth, so they could go and worship the newborn king. Finally, the three wise bears and their faithful camel trooped on stage. The foil-covered Christmas star hung above the stable, sparkling in the spotlight. A star, I see a star, Sammy said. Clearly, his loose tooth came out backstage. The three wise bears kneeled before Mary, Joseph, and Jesus. The shepherds and the angels joined them. Everyone bowed low before the tender baby. The three wise bears opened their treasures and gave Jesus their precious gifts. The audience grew very still. Then someone in the background began to sing softly, Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. And the rest of the audience joined in the end. Sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. That's a pretty song. Peeking out of the camel costumes, tears came to Sister and Brother's eyes. It seems they had never understood the joy of giving until that moment. All the gifts of all the Christmases of all the years went back to those very first gifts given to the tiny baby long ago. The Christmas Eve play was over and the audience cheered. Everyone felt the true spirit of Christmas had been with them that night. On Christmas morning, Brother and Sister led the family downstairs bright and early. But instead of heading to their own pile of presents, they went to their gifts for each other. Merry Christmas, they said, holding out their presents from one end of the camel to the other, said Brother. Thanks, laughed Sister. You're a first-rate backup, which means he played the back of the camel. Brother and Sister were delighted with their gifts and gave each other big bear hugs. Honey opened her presents, that's the baby, and Brother and Sister joined in. In the back of their minds, though, they were still thinking about the money they had left over from their shopping trip. Later that morning, the family went to the chapel in the woods for the Christmas Day service. A light snow covered the ground, and all Bear Country glistened in the sun. On the way, Sister and Brother noticed a group of bears playing Christmas carols. They were collecting money for the needy in a big black pot. Brother and Sister looked at one another and dug into their pockets and dropped all their money into the pot. Mama and Papa smiled with pride. You know what the good book says, Mama told them. It's more blessed to give than to receive. We know, said Brother. We received an awful lot, so it's time we gave some of it back. Look, said Sister, feeling in her pocket. I still have a quarter. Honey reached for it, and Sister put it in her hand. Then little Honey, holding her to Papa, toddled over to the big black kettle and dropped the quarter in. The bears played Christmas music. Merry Christmas, they said to all. Merry Christmas, answered the bear family. Wasn't that pretty? Look at the tinsels and the holiday decorations. That is so cool. Pretty picture. So, we're going to chat a little bit about what the bears did at the end of the story. So instead of thinking about what they could buy for themselves with the money they had left over, they decided there was others that could use it more, which is when they donated the rest of their money to that black kettle, which helped take care of people that didn't have all the things that they had, which is one of the main reasons that we take a look at the idea when it was said it is better to give than it is to receive. And that's very true. It is. But one of the wonderful things you get from giving is you receive, as they said, a whole lot more. And what is that whole lot more? That whole lot more is the knowledge that they knew that they were giving so other people could have the same joy and experience that they did by having their family. And a lot of times we get to that place where it's, oh, we need to go out and shop, and we need to go buy this, and we need to go buy that. One of the fun things about the holidays, no matter what culture you're in or no matter what belief system that you use in the celebrations that you do, when we look at all of them, it's all about sharing and giving the love that we have for one another in our family. And not just our family, but the whole humankind, all the people. And one of the important ways in which that shows and that happens is as they put that money in that pot, they're giving to people they didn't even know. They didn't know where that was going to go and what it was going to purchase, whether it was going to be a present or it was going to be a cooked breakfast or a dinner. They just didn't know, or maybe a warm blanket. Just didn't know. And that's the joy of that giving, is to be able to give that. Now, one of the things I thought about was what's one of the ways that we can give of ourselves and still give a gift you can wrap or put on a tree or one of those places. What could we do? And so this is an idea that my daughter, who lives in Colorado, sent me this picture on my cell phone and said that this was the gift that their son made at school for them. And so it's like one of those last minute things that you can make if you didn't have time or to put something in the mail or put something in a box and ship it or one of those things. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to give part of ourselves. And this is talking to you kids, moms and dads. If you want to take this idea and formulate it and use it a little earlier in the shopping and packing and all that other stuff, you could go one step further. But I'm going to show you the easy part first, in the essence that it can be created with, I'm going to tell you the supplies. You can use any ornament, or cookie cutter is what I have. This is a Christmas tree, and this will become our stencil. So there's a Christmas tree, and then this one is a supposed to be a flower, I think, but I just like the parts that go around like this, and they're shaped, how they're shaped, and how they kind of remind me of the circle and how things are always going in a circle. They start out and they end up usually in the same place. So that's this one. That's this design. Now I'm going to show you some finished products in a minute once we do this short one. I'll show you the bigger version. So the short version of this is the first thing that you do is have mom and dad help you with this part. Is that they need to get some ribbon, paper, or this is called curling ribbon, and you'll be able to curl it with scissors. But this is curling ribbon, and I'm going to show you what this represents to me. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to go. It's probably going to be way beyond the camera, but I'll hold it up like this, and it's a very long piece of ribbon. And what this represents to me, I'm going to kind of hold it like this so you can see it. This is how tall my oldest grandson is. He's going to be 10 Christmas Eve. And this is how tall he is. As you can see, if I put this by my toe and stand on it, he's almost as tall as me. Of course, I'm not really super tall. But this is Dominic. This is how tall he is. So I'm going to sit this one here. This one, the green one, is my other grandson. His name is Finn, and he's going to be 7 on January 2nd. And his isn't quite as tall because his brother is taller than he is. So this is what this represents, is how tall Finn is as of this year, Christmas 2020. All right, that's how tall he is. So this is going to go over here. This is a really fun present to give to your grandparents or maybe an aunt or an uncle or somebody that's very special to you that you would like to give. Now that we have this and we have the stencils, you're wondering, what are we doing with those? You find some Christmas paper or paper that you like, and what I did is I used cards, it's like cardstock, but it has Christmas designs on it. This has little owls dressed up in scarves and little hats. That's that one. This one, the other design on this one, which has this design, can't quite see it yet, but you will once we cut it out. It's going to end up looking like this. There's your steps. Stencil, pattern, drawing, and then we end up, goes like this. So here's the stencil. We copied it here, and that's what it looks like cut out. All right? So you find whatever paper you'd like to use. You could use just regular paper too. This I just thought would be fun because of the holidays. And you could find any kind of paper you wanted. And I'm going to reach over here, and I have this other paper that's very pretty that you could use. You could just put your stencil here, and then there's a star. But we're going to cover some of that. So it doesn't really matter, but this is pretty too. Just the red with the little dots and things. Okay, so you could use any kind of paper that you want. So the next step is, now that we have cut out a piece of paper out of this, oops, and I have traced it. I think what I'll do is I'll trace it on this side so it's a little bit easier for you to see. So you just trace around the outside edge. Make sure it fits on the piece of paper that you have. So you just trace around it with a pencil. Okay, so you're going to go like that. All right, so there's your pattern. And you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut it out. And of course, we all can figure out that when we know what it's going to look like. So there's this. This is going to be the back side of the card that we're going to attach to the ribbon. And you'll understand the point of the ribbon once we get this all cut out. So there's this, like this. And this is such a cool thing. This particular part that we're doing here is something that's very easy to put in the mail. All right, so we'll throw our scrap away. And there we go. So we have that. Now, this is how all the string, the stencil, and a Christmas card. And this is the Christmas card my grandsons picked out. What we're making here is going to go to their grandparents who live in Chico, California. Okay, and this is the Christmas card they picked out. They liked that one. They liked the snowman and the cardinal. And I believe it has "We Wish You a Merry Christmas," part of the song of "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" on the inside. And there's the snowman and the cardinal. Cardinal's a winter bird that you see in the winter. All right, so we're going to put that there. Now, we're going to take this, the stencil that we cut out, and I'm going to grab one of my glue sticks. And I have this piece of paper. And on this piece of paper, it says, and this is where you'll see where this comes in. It says, "This ribbon is very special, as you will see. Take it out and you will find that it is the same size as me." So what you're going to be sending is you're going to be sending the string that tells whoever you're sending this to how much you've grown in the last year or the last time they saw you. They can just hold it up like this, and if they wanted to, they can get a ruler out and measure it if that's what they want to do. So that's what this represents. So we're going to take the card, okay, and I'm going to flip this over. Still got pencil marks on it, but that's all right. And I'm going to put this in the center of the card. I'm going to trim the corners so it fits a little bit better. So I'm just going to trim the corners just a little bit. Just cutting little triangles off the ends like that. So then I'm going to put glue stick on this. Then And when we were reading the story, and it talked about the first gifts of Christmas. And what a Christmas gift is honoring and celebrating the feelings that you have for this particular person that you're sending this to. Okay, so we're going to glue that on the white side. This is the decorated side. This is the white side. Okay? So we're going to put that there. Just like that. And then we're going to take our hole punch. And this is for the quick gift. For the gift that you want to send, you can put this in the mail. We're going to punch a hole. Oops. Like that. And then, if you want, this is only if you want to, it's not something you have to do, you can take and decorate the white edges around that. And one of my favorite things to do is, I have these paint markers and they're lots of fun. But you can use a regular marker, you could use a crayon, anything you want to do. And you can fill this all in. I must make sure you see this. Fill this all in if you want to. Or you can decorate. I like to make it look like snow. So I'm just dotting with the silver just around the edges. And you could call this an ornament if you want to. That's up to whatever you like. So there's my gold, and we can put a little bit on the other part of the writing that we have. And I'm going to cover that one. And I think for fun, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some silver. So I'm just going to dot some silver around the gold, just like this. Now, the other part that is important to do is to, we'll use red, write on the card the name of the person with a string of who it is. Okay, who is this? Well, I know because I measured Finn with this, or his mom did, and I know this is how tall Finn is. So I'm going to take on this card, and kids, this is something that you can do. Mom can get the ribbon for you and measure it and all that, and then you can do this finishing part. If you want to decorate this particular part and then put the little words on, or you can do white paper on this side, and you can decorate that too. It's whatever you want to do with it, however that creative energy comes out of you and what you'd like that to look like. So I'm going to take this red pen, and I'm going to write down here, I'm going to write Finn's name, and I'm going to write on this side the year, 2020, just like that. And then, same thing with this one. Now I'm going to take the ribbon and I'm going to put it through here, like this. Oops. And we're just going to put a little tiny bit of tape. This is just for when we're sending it in a card. Yeah, just for when we're sending it in the card. And I just want a little smidgen of the, you know what? I changed my mind about how we're going to do that. If we're going to do it this way, it's probably better. We're going to just fold this little part like this in half, because we don't want the ribbon to be stuck. So we lose part of it, because then we will lose part of the height of Finn. So we're going to fold it just a little bit like this, and then we're going to put it in here, fold it and put it in the hole, like that. Okay. Then we're going to put this, and I guess I better make the fold bigger. We'll get this. It's called practice. We'll just do a long string. So put it through the decoration like this, and then pull the rest of the string through. So it kind of makes a little bit of a loop. Okay? So when they take it out of the card, then they'll just pull on this part right here, and it pulls the ribbon out. just like that. So there you go. So you'd be taking it out, just like the card said. Take it out, and you will see that the string is the same size as me. So we're going to put that in there like that. And just make sure you make the string, make the fold long enough that you can loop it through. Okay? Just like that. All right, now that's fins. Now because I'm going to send both of these in the same card, I want to make sure that this ribbon doesn't get twisted. So I got a little plastic bag, and I'm going to put it inside the card and put the ribbon in there. Just like that. I'm going to tuck it all in there. It's being a little stubborn, but that's okay. I'm going to get it all inside the bag. And make sure that you have, when you put it in there, that what you see, come on ribbon, get in there. There we go. Stick it all inside. And then see, it's just a little lunch bag, or you can use one of the little snack bags that they have. And you can fold it. It's not going to hurt anything to fold it. Just take all the air out, push it flat. And then you have the little sign that's right here. So we're going to set that one over there. And then we're going to do this one for Dominic. And Dominic's is the red ribbon. If you're going to send more than one in an envelope, be sure you use different colored ribbon. It's just easier to tell it apart. And again, we're going to do the same process with this. And do that. Whoops! There goes my glue. That's interesting. Okay? But it's perfectly the right amount. And then we'll glue this on this one. Just like that. And I have a little piece here, so I'm going to just trim that off. Okay? All right, there's that. Now you can do the same thing. You can do the glitter or the little dots that decorate the front side of the card, the little message. And then I thought one of the things that might be fun that you could tell your grandparents or whoever you send this to, that they take it out next year, and because we have the little loop at the top, they could hang it on the tree, and then the ribbon would cascade down in your tree to decorate your tree. So there'd be several things you could do with this. So we're going to put a hole in this one with the paper punch. Whoops, I poked the hole. I should have gone a little shorter. Anyway. And then do the same thing with this ribbon. You're going to fold it just down long enough so that you can get it in through to have a loop. Oops. Yes, we are. Takes a little practice, but we can do it. Mom might need to help you with this particular part. But you fold it, loop it through. And this is the cool part about this, is that it loops through and you're able to undo it instead of tying it in a knot. Okay? Now this one is Dominic. It's my 10-year-old grandson. And I'm going to take this, the red pen again. Use any pen you want. And like I said, you could decorate this however you want to decorate it. So down here I'm going to write Dominic and 2020. Right down in the corner. If you want to fill in little space down here, it says Merry Christmas or I love you or anything you want to put on there. It's like you're sending a very special card to them in the mail. Then we're going to take, now see, this is a smaller bag. The card still fits, but I'm going to roll the ribbon up a little bit more so it's not so hard to get in the bag because it kind of wants to fly all over the place. So we open up the ribbon, the bag. Certainly we do. There we go. All right. Stick this in here and tuck the ribbon in, just like we did with the other one. The whole idea is just to make sure that you do have the part that has the words on it, because you want them to know what they're supposed to do with it. And push this shut. So there you have it. It's in the bag. There's the ribbon in the back, just like that. And it's okay if you squish it. It's not going to hurt the ribbon. It's not going to stop the ribbon from seeing how tall you are when we do this. All right? So now we have these two. And then I will have Dom and Finn each sign their sign the card. And then we'll put it in the card and put it in the envelope and address it to their grandparents, like that. And be sure, probably put an extra stamp on it. I don't think it's going to make it that much heavier, but put an extra stamp on it so that they do get it. Okay? And we're going to fill out their information on here, and then and make sure it's skinny. It's flatter. So you want to press down on the ribbon so that it's flat. So it has to fit through one of those little mail slot things, so you don't want it super fat. So that's how we're going to do that one in being able to send it to them in the mail. So this will go in the mail tomorrow from my grandsons to their grandparents in Chico, and they should have it maybe by Wednesday. But they'd be able to hang it on their tree by opening it up. Now, the other way, and I'm just going to show you quickly how to do this one. The other one is by using these ornaments. I think you can see them. I brought 3 different kinds. You can buy these at the different craft stores, but I want you to be able to see them. This is a square one, which is kind of cool, like that. This is a little round one. See that? Just a little round one. I think you can see it, I hope. And then this is the one that's the same shape as this one. So what I did is, and this is going to go to their other grandparents. This one's Dominic's, and we decorated the outside of it with the paint markers. Sharpies work okay, but they tend to rub off. So if Mom has paint markers, or even paint, you could use regular paint to, poster paint and stuff to put on it, to draw a picture. This is a Christmas tree. This one is Finn's, and his is a snowman. And then we wrote the things on the card that I read to you on the other ones that we did. And if you can't see this, I'm going to put it like this, and hopefully you can read it, that Mom can type it on her computer and then print it out for you, or you can just write it on the back like I had the other ones, okay? So you have the words. Or you can also email me at my my email address, and it's www.drsusan, drsusan@cslsimi.org. And then if you'd like me to send you this, I can send it to you over the email if you want to have the little words. All right? So now we have an ornament to hang on the tree. This is not the same ribbon that's inside. You can see the ribbon on the inside. At least I think you can see it. Can you see that? It's kind of sometimes a hard time to see. But you can see the ribbon on the inside. I'm going to turn it over on here so you can see it. And we wrote Merry Christmas across the back, and we put the year 2020. And then we also wrote Dominic here and Christmas 2020 on this one. So they can leave it inside of the ornament, or they can take it out and do the same thing that we did with the card. The card is something that we can just put in the mail. This we kind of have to put in a box and then take it to the post office. So this takes a little bit more time. You need more time for it to mail it. But you can still do that. So I've already put the ribbon in here, but you take the same idea. We're just going to do a little short piece here. I don't have anybody to measure. So we're going to just kind of guess. I don't think I could guess me, but anyway. So we're going to take this red ribbon, and let's see if I can do this. I'll stand on it just so it's at my toe. So, and go to my forehead. So right to here. So I'm going to cut that. So this is me, like that. Okay? So there's this me. And what I'll do is give this to my mom. She lives at my house with me, but I'm going to give it to her. I'll wrap this up and give it to her as a Christmas present. She can hang it on the tree next year. Okay? So I'm going to take that. Now, this pops off just like that. Then you take the ribbon and just push it inside. Takes a little bit, a few minutes to get this part accomplished because you got to shove the whole thing at one time. So you just keep pushing. This is a fun project. Now, wouldn't this be fun too if you wanted to just make ornaments for your Christmas tree? Or it might be kind of fun to do one of these ornaments for everybody in your house and make one of these as part of one of your Christmas decoration projects and decorate the outside of the ornament with whatever. You could paint it, you could draw on it, but like I said, the best thing that works on the plastic ornaments is the paint markers. That seems to work the best. So I'm going to stick this all the way in there, get it in there, and then stick this back. There's a little prong thing that you stick back inside and cover the cap just like that. So you know this. So there I am. I'm inside this little jar. Isn't that exciting? How tall I am is in this little jar. So we take that, and I'm going to take that pretty Christmas paper we saw before, and this time I'm going to use, yeah, I guess that's okay, because it's going to be on the white side. But this is pretty for decoration, but this time I'm going to use the Christmas tree. We use just a different ornament. And I like the snowflake to be on the back of the card, because that's pretty. And again, going to trace it, because we're not going to put the card on the fancy side. We're going to put the card on the white side, on the plain side. So even if you want to, I don't know if your mom does or dad keeps Christmas cards from years before, you can take an old Christmas card and do the same thing. Okay? And you can do the same thing with that. So we're going to cut this one out, move this over here. So I'm going to do the Christmas tree. And in this time that we've been together in creating this decoration or this gift, is that I've made 3 gifts. My grandsons, so that they can send this to their grandparents. And I've done one to give to my mom, which probably sounds kind of funny, but that's what I've done anyway. Okay, and so we're going to cut this out. You can use, like I said, you can use any paper you want, or you can create your own. That's kind of fun too, is to create your own. I was hoping to save this little rhiney stone thing, but it's not going to go. All right, so there's the tree. And on this one, I kind of changed the lineup of the words so that it would fit on the decoration. Now, you don't really have to print this. You can just have the words and write it on the back. I did that with Dominic and Finn's when I created theirs last night. So I want to be sure that it fits. And just like that. I think I'll go to this glue stick. The other one was just almost empty. Okay. So I'm going to glue this on, and then I'll trim it off a little bit. Oh, this works good. Okay. Just like that. And I'll line this up so you can see. So I lined it up so that it's on the card, that all the words are on the card. So I did that. Now I'm going to flip it over, and you see I have the white parts there. So I'm going to trim that off like that, kind of like trim to fit. And sometimes writing it is kind of fun too. If you're good at printing, you can do that. And then you're also giving your grandparents another gift. Is they're going to see your printing and how well you've been doing that. Okay, so there we are. So we have the words on the back. Now this is the Christmas tree. So, where's the cap? Here it is. This is the Christmas tree. So we can do the same thing that we did before. Or you may want to use a marker, and I'm going to do this one, and just color this in. You just color this all in. So it's the color of the Christmas tree. Okay, do that. And color all the white with this. Now, the other way you can do this if you want to. So you've got that like that. You can color it a lot neater than I'm doing it because I'm doing it fast. Is that you can turn this over, and with a different color, maybe like a white, if you had something darker to write with. I have a dark blue here. That might work pretty good. And this one, I'm going to put Susan up here like that, and I'm going to put 2020 down here like that. Okay? Oops. Now, we're going to go back to this part. So this is all ready. So I'm going to set this over here so you can see that. Let go of that. Okay, so there's the tree. I'll leave it lay like that. These are the samples that I have here for Dominic and Finn. Now this one, I think I'm going to take my paint marker, especially the white, because that really shows up really good. And I'm going to do snow all around my ornament. It's a little hard for you to see, I know. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to color it all in. I'm not going to have time to do all that now, but you'll get the basic idea. So I'm going to color the snow. I'll finish it in later, like this. And because, and then I kind of think, I like the snowman idea, so I think I'm going to put a little tiny snowman right here. 3 things. And you just color it in. Like that. And I'll use the black one to make a little hat and little buttons for the snowman. Or maybe you wanted, and then maybe on another side I'll put a Christmas tree, or the other side maybe I'll do a present. So I'll do a package like this. Do like a box. That's kind of a funny box, but that's okay. Never know what's might be in a funny box, right? Okay. So then I'll take the silver and I'll make a ribbon that goes down the sides of the box like that, and a bow at the top. Okay. Now, if you're doing it this way and you're going to be sending this out, you'll have a lot more time to be a little more creative, and you can be a little more careful and delicate than I'm doing right now because I'm doing it really fast. Okay, now the white's probably dry enough now. I can get the black one out, the black marker, and go back to the snowman. And I'm going to do 2 eyes, 2 coal eyes, and the buttons, and his hat. Snowman wears a top hat. So we'll fill in the top hat. And if you like the idea, you could fill in a scarf. If you wanted your snowman to have a scarf. Okay, you could do that. So there's our snowman. And we'll have to put a little orange thing for a carrot, and then a little line for the mouth. And we'll do the little stick arms. Okay, like that. And then same thing like on this one, might do Christmas tree or one of those things. Okay, now we'll go on to this part that I'm going to punch a hole in this one. Whoops. Right at the top. And then this doesn't matter whether it's a short piece of string or not. But you can do that. And this basically is the same idea as when you did it to the card. You just fold the ribbon in half, make a loop, pull it through. There we go. And then, because I'm not taking this ribbon off anywhere, I'll tie another little knot. Then I'll use my scissors and curl that part and curl this part, and then one more piece of string, my scissors, clip that here, and put this on the card, put it through. Same idea. This is just a fast way of doing it, like that. I have to pull this a little bit more so I've got some string to tie with, okay? And then you're going to fill this through, put this through the loop and tie it. You can just tie a knot in this one, and they can take this off, just like that. Make it a little bit tighter. Okay. So we have there's our card, and this flips it over to tell what it is. And then when they're going to take it out and take a look at it, they're going to pull this off. So your card always stays on. You're going to pull this off, just like that. And then we have the fun job, or they have the fun job, of getting, scissors is the best thing that works for this. You may have to explain this to them. And pull a piece of the ribbon up to the top. Of course, it's being stubborn. But you grab one of the loops and pull the ribbon out. This is being stubborn. But the whole idea is to just grab onto this. You can use a pair of tweezers too to grab onto the ribbon on the inside. And then they can pull it out. And then they see how tall you are, how tall you've gotten over the year if they haven't had the opportunity to see you. And that's a nice little thing to do for mom and dad, that they would have. It's like a growth chart on your Christmas tree. And every Christmas you can make a new string and add a new ornament to your Christmas tree. So by the time if you think about this and you do this every year, by the time you're 18 and you go to college, or when you move to your own house or place, mom and dad have a growth chart of you over the last 18 years, or your grandparents, or whoever. So that's kind of a fun little present and a little gift. So that's one of the ways to do it. And it's a way, as we read in the story, it's a way of giving a part of you. Not necessarily, going to the store and buying a picture frame or one of those other things. And it doesn't take up a lot of space. And it's something that's memorable, and it's a memory that you're creating for your grandparents or for your parents. But that might be kind of a fun thing. You can do one with mom for dad, but don't tell dad about it, and then do one with dad for mom and don't tell mom about it. So you can do it for both of them, and it'll be a surprise for them. All right? So this is just a fun little idea that you can do, moms and dads. This is a fun idea you can do for grandparents with your kids. And just another way of sending part of who you are through the mail or in a box. And it's not anything that takes a lot of packaging or a lot of expense. And it's part of the kids and part of your memories. So I hope you enjoyed the craft and the story. And the stories, it's always nice to know where the first gift came from. And this will be a gift of every year of seeing how we continue to grow and move into our lives. So I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. And be safe, have a good time, love your family, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.